Good start to the season, but today was the ultimate challenge. The champions visited the Valley with 5 wins out of 5 and no goals conceded. Just the one change for Alan Kirbishley, Brian Hughes in for Alexis Smertin, who is ineligible for this one under the terms of his loan deal from Chelsea. Player of the month Darren Bent was looking for his 6th goal of the season. And Jose Mourinho also made one change. Crespo preferred up front to Didier Drogba, who dropped to the bench. Frank Lampard made his 100th consecutive Premiership start. Commentary from Trevor Francis and Jim Proudfoot.
Between them, they've scored 18 times in the Premiership this season and conceded just once. They've won a combined total of 9 out of 9, but today, Charlton and Chelsea put the 2 remaining 100% records on the line. It's an exercise in perfection protection. Howard Webb gets the game off and running. Most eagerly awaited Premiership fixture here at the Valley for some time. And here's the first touch for Brian Hughes. Alongside me, one of Brian Hughes' former managers, Trevor Francis.
Yes, it's an ideal game for Brian to come into, making his debut for the season. As you mentioned, Smertin's had an excellent start to his time here at Charlton. But Jose Mourinho, rightly so, has not allowed him to play today. He's just on loan, of course, for the season. But it's a game that's eagerly awaited. Beautiful day for football, sun shining. The game of the day. Let's hope we see some great action.
John Terry, and now Ricardo Carvalho. In his first Premiership match of the season after his outspoken comments just on the eve of the season about Jose Mourinho's team selection. Robben in a more central role to start, and here's Essien. I saw that Stefan Andersson was off his line. I think he attempted the flighted chip.
Well, it's certainly the first chance of the game. A typical Robben run. The ball's deflected and it slows the pace down, and it falls kindly for Essien. Powell goes in with a sliding tackle, but Essien will be disappointed with his effort outside the box. Really didn't make sufficiently good contact to trouble Andersson in the Charlton goal.
Michael Essien still yet to score for Chelsea, although he did get his first international goal for Ghana against Uganda earlier this month. He's got a good goal-scoring record as well in his time in French football, including 5 Champions League goals last year. Free kick given away by Danny Murphy. Duff. By Herman Hreidersen, Kishashev, and Dennis Romodal does well to hold the challengers off and find Luke Young. Good defending by John Terry, particularly looking into the sun.
Yeah, it was a testing ball for John Terry to deal with. Played long from Luke Young, looking for his sole striker, Darren Bent, but going back towards his goal. John Terry, as he normally is, the calming influence, and just cushioned the header back to check.
Foul on Hernan Crespo. And belatedly, Chelsea restart play with Lampard's free kick. Some achievement from Frank Lampard. His 152nd consecutive Premiership match, his 100th consecutive start. Carvalho. Robben. Essien. To and from Arjen Robben. Ferreira, Robben, Duff. Duff taking on Chris Powell. What a start that would have been. Well, they've got a corner. Frank Lampard's reaction suggests he thought it was going to be a goal.
Well, there must have been at least 30 passes from Chelsea before Duff springs down the right-hand side. Great ball into the box, is flicked on. Frank Lampard just outside the box, volleys it with his left foot, takes a deflection, but a great effort.
There is again through a crowd of players. Number 5, blue shirts inside the 6-yard box, but no one could get the touch that was necessary.
Well, Charlton was sleeping there from the short corner. They worked it well, Chelsea, releasing Frank Lampard on a 2-on-1 situation. Here it is, Frank Lampard drives it into the box. Just look how many blue shirts there are there. 5 waiting for that ball. And Charlton were very fortunate there that one of them didn't get a final touch. But really, Chelsea have started very, very impressively. As you'd expect, a team with great self-belief. They've passed the ball really well this opening few minutes.
Kishishev. Switched out to Damien Duff, and now Crespo, who made the angled run for him. In towards Arjen Robben, he's got time to bring it under control. Well marshalled by Luke Young. And Robben forced away from goal. Good defending, but still Chelsea in possession in dangerous area. Hughes' clearance finds Bent. And Kishishev overplays. Crespo with the shots, and Stefan Andersen, without any Chelsea player trying to get on the rebound, has time to gather the ball at the second attempt.
It's a nervous start by Charlton. Kishishev here caught in possession, in 2 minds what to do with it. He's quickly dispossessed, falls to Crespo on the turn, hits it first time. Andersen has it covered at the second attempt.
Of possession that Chelsea have had in the early stages, that's the problem that Charlton might have. The ball's played long towards Darren Bent. He's got nobody up there in support because the other 2 wider attackers for Charlton have been forced back. Carvalho waiting for some options ahead of him. It's Essien that made the run, but an easy one for Herman Hreiderson to deal with. And lets it go through to his goalkeeper.
Well, prior to the game, this man in the picture here, Jose Mourinho, was widely tipped to make sweeping changes, resting a number of players. That's not happened. Just Drogba, the one left out for Crespo. And I think that's Jose Mourinho paying a big compliment to Alan Curbishley and to his players for the start of the season they've made. He realises it's going to be a tough game, hence the reason why he selected a particularly strong team to come to the Valley today.
Hughes. Dallas has lost out to Romedal. He try and turn out of trouble and probably turn straight into it. Getting there ahead of Jerome Thomas, but still Charlton maintaining possession with Kishishev. Now Brian Hughes. Hughes again. Just a little bit overhit for Petr Cech. He hasn't conceded a Premiership goal yet this season. Already the goalkeeper that holds the record for the successive number of clean sheets in the Premiership. He did 10 last season. The only goal that Chelsea have conceded this season, scored by Arsenal's Cesc Fabregas in the Community Shield. 565 minutes, almost 9.5 hours since. That's before today's game started. That'll be a free kick to Charlton.
Yeah, good skills this by Dennis Romedal, forcing the foul on the touchline from Frank Lampard.
Thomas. Paulo Ferreira, the fullback, had to come into a central position to try and deal with it. And what an interception from Terry. Absolutely vital. Duff. Chelsea player with a milestone today, his 200th league game of his career. In fact, not one of the best crosses he's ever put it. More. Chelsea first to the second ball, and it was very routine for Ricardo Carvalho after Terry won the initial header. Here's Kishishev. The ball for Murphy. He's turned it on towards Darren Bent. Good defending by Paulo Ferreira.
Great ball played by Danny Murphy, showed great vision to release Darren Bent, but Ferreira came across, used his strength just to out-muscle Darren Bent and cushion the ball back to his keeper, Peter Cech.
Bent again winning the first ball, this time against Carvalho, but once more no Charlton player able to capitalise on that. The start to his Charlton career he's had, Darren Bent. A striker delighting in the kind of scheming service provided by Danny Murphy. Finding his feet at Charlton in this his second season at the Valley. Here's Robben. Essien was fouled, advantage played by the referee. Robben not fouled as he tried to get round Herman Hreidarson. Well, he wanted a free kick for obstruction at the very least. I don't think he was appealing for a penalty, just that it should be a Chelsea set piece. Thomas. Got the last touch. Chelsea's record in London derbies very impressive. They've won their last 5 matches against London opposition, which includes 2 games against Arsenal. And they're unbeaten in their last 19 London derbies in all competitions now, since Arsenal's 2-1 win at Stamford Bridge in February last year. 15 wins and 4 draws in that run of games. Well, they won easily here last year. They did lose, conceding 4 in the process the year before. Here's Arjen Robben. Very different Chelsea team now, of course. Good save by Anderson. Almost bamboozled by the power in the shot from the Dutchman. I'm not sure that his hands were strong enough to get good distance on the clearance. And Jerome Thomas using the full width of the pitch, but no more. And then he's fouled Paulo Ferreira.
Another outstanding run from Arjen Robben. Goes past 2 players, the 2 central defenders, Hreidarson and Perry, then strikes it with real venom in his left foot. It's a good save from Anderson. He couldn't risk catching it. It was going at such a pace, hit with tremendous power. He did well to fist it away with 2 hands.
Hasn't scored since February, Arjen Robben, although he admittedly has been out of the side because of injury during that time. He's given away the free kick here. Kerbishley just going a little bit of fine-tuning amongst the players. Trying to match Chelsea's system today. Chris Perry's free kick towards Herman Hreidarson. Now Dennis Rommedahl. And Jerome Thomas. A chance for Charlton. This season Chelsea have given very few clear-cut openings to the opposition, and this is the kind of chance Charlton are going to have to take.
Well, it's very unusual to see a Charlton player in that much amount of space. That's where Rommedahl found himself in, from the header from a Ryderson, the biggest player in the Charlton side. Out-jumped his opponents from Chelsea with a good header. Rommedahl wasted no time across the box. It fell for Thomas, who really should have done better with his attempt on goal. Should at least have hit the target.
Gallus. Ryderson dealing with Robben, fall from Makaleli. Danny Murphy trying to escape the shackles of Makaleli, and then Essien, and he's done well to hang on to possession. Chris Powell forced to just dig it forward. Bent again winning the header. Lovely play by Thomas. Kishishev alerted to the presence of Duff by more than 20,000 screaming Charlton fans. This time he has more space and time. Bent with a knock down for Murphy. And Charlton win their first corner.
It's important the quality of the ball into the front player is good. It's a good ball into Bent. Knocked it down into the path of Danny Murphy, but a well-timed challenge from John Terry at the vital moment. Just got that vital block in.
Sven-Göran Eriksson, the England coach, here today, and Murphy's name has been mentioned in dispatches. I'm sure Darren Bent will come under Eriksson's very watchful eye. Here's Murphy, uninjured by the previous John Terry block, who takes the corner. Chelsea clear their lines, and Arjen Robben wins a throw. Essien. Young. And Terry's lost it to Rommedahl. And referee Howard Webb had a long look and says play on. Chris Perry will be able to shepherd that one out of play, but Howard Webb, the referee, and his assistant not enamouring themselves to the Charlton fans.
Well, I think Rommedahl there was just out-muscled by John Terry. Good covering play from Terry. Intercepted well, then lost possession to Rommedahl, and then won it back again, just through sheer strength.
This time Charlton do get a free kick. Carla Carvalho hauling down Darren Bent.
And immediately Ryderson's gone forward after his previous success, winning the ball quite comfortably. He'll be looking for another good delivery from Danny Murphy.
Ryderson, the most advanced of the Charlton players, as they shape up waiting for this Murphy free kick. Chelsea making do with just two in the wall, which is surreptitiously trying to shuffle forward. Going away effectively of Danny Murphy's delivery. Teased back over the top towards the Ryderson. Carvalho's header important, but the referee saw some push and shove, and it's a Chelsea free kick.
I think Danny Murphy tried to surprise the Chelsea defenders by letting him just shoot. Probably at least 30 yards from goal, slightly ambitious.
He's never scored, Danny Murphy, in 12 previous Premiership appearances against Chelsea. And after an impressive opening 5 minutes or so in which they did create chances, Chelsea have just been nullified a little bit by Charlton. Certainly the hosts that are More action inside the final third at the moment. Kishishev to Thomas, good old-fashioned winger who loves to run at a fullback. Turns inside this time. Carvalho's clearance only as far as Murphy. Duff back to try and shackle Jerome Thomas this time. Kishishev forced to play it back to the only Charlton player inside his own half, Perry. Here they come again. Bent. Powell. Good first time ball in. Terry getting there ahead of Hughes. And this is where Charlton could be caught. Counter-attack from Essien, and Crespo hits the post. But that is where they are so potent.
Well, it's the second time now Kishishev's been caught in possession by his marker in midfield, Essien.
This time it's Duff. Makaleli. Chelsea still stringing the passes together. Makaleli to Ferreira. Duff again, this time a little bit more room for him. Ferreira into Powell. And Thomas can give some respite for Charlton. Only temporarily though. Lampard there ahead of Hughes. Essien picks it up after Perry's initial interception. Duff goes for goal. Awkward swerving ball, plenty of cut spin on it. Dealt with effectively by Stefan Andersen.
He's made a good start to the game, Andersen. Duff realises he had a couple of yards of space, he wasn't closed down quickly enough. This is the earlier break. Essien quickly dispossesses Kishishev, slots a lovely ball through into the path of Crespo with the outside of the foot. He beats Andersen in the Charlton goal, but the ball strikes the upright and denies him the opening goal.
Closest either side have come to denting the other's 100% record so far. Robben, Paulo Ferreira. Duff takes a tumble inside the penalty area. Nothing doing as far as the officials are concerned. They didn't see anything untoward.
That's fine, William, that's lovely, that's fine.
No, I think Duff has collided there with Chris Perry. Two of them came together. Duff goes to floor. He's not happy, he's looking for a penalty. But Howard Webb doesn't want to know about it, and rightly so. It's a good ball in from Ferreira, just lacking one or two more blue shirts in the box.
Robben. Two Charlton defenders, too much of an impediment. They have this reputation, Trevor, for playing boring football, Chelsea. It's results business as far as Jose Mourinho is concerned. That's totally understandable. Can't accuse them of being boring today.
Well, I don't know what the stats are, but we've been playing 25 minutes, and I would guess there's something like 6 shots have gone in on the Charlton goal. They've been very impressive. Some of the build-up play with their short passing has been crisp. There's a confidence about them. When they lose possession, there's an eagerness to win the possession back. They've looked very good. I think Charlton started very nervously the first 5 minutes, could have been behind. They've come back into the game because they're now playing with more self-belief.
Robben, who switched flanks, and able to get on the end of Powell's ball, and Robben, who fancy himself in a one-on-one chase against Chris Powell, in towards Crespo. Nearly the perfect ball, but Crespo just couldn't quite get there in time.
No, the idea was absolutely spot on. Good run from Crespo. Robben saw him, but his weight of pass was just a little overhit.
Thomas fell down heavily on that left ankle after the challenge from Michael Essien, and Howard Webb just wants to make sure he's okay before he allows Chris Powell to take the throw for Charlton.
Well, Essien just left his foot in there. He did what's known in the game is just letting him know that he's about. It's a late challenge that the referee didn't pick up on, but certainly young Jerome Thomas certainly felt the full weight of Essien's challenge.
And can he punish Chelsea and hurt them himself? Remonstrations going on in the Chelsea back line, the ease of which Jerome Thomas managed to find himself some space. Carvalho then heads Kishishev's ball forward away. Personal handball against Claude Makelele, and the referee, who could not have been in a better position, finds against the Frenchman's a Charlton free kick.
Well, Kishishev has been caught in possession a couple of times himself, but on this occasion he's turned the tables. Makelele just delays giving the ball to a colleague, and Kishishev's on him like a flash, wins possession, and then wins himself a free kick. Well, if the previous free kick from Danny Murphy was a little bit too far out, in my opinion, for the shot, this one here is a little bit closer. I think Danny Murphy will certainly relish this opportunity. It's the second attempt he's going to have at a direct shot, and he is capable of scoring from this distance.
When he was a Liverpool player, he had the reputation for being able to score free kicks in big games. Went to Old Trafford and scored the winning goal 2 seasons on the trot. Few bigger games for Charlton this season than this one, and it's Murphy into the wall. Bent back to Powell. Hitting deep towards Hariderson. The inevitable target of every Charlton aerial onslaught. William Gallas concedes the throw. Six forward for Charlton still. Imperious defending by John Terry.
Great header, wasn't it? That's how you relieve the pressure on a long throw-in from Luke Young, looking for Hariderson. Towering header from the captain.
Easy to see why Terry was voted the best defender in the Champions League last season by his fellow pros. Got a good goal-scoring record here. His fixture in each of the last 2 seasons he's found the net, including 2 and 3 minutes last year. Hasn't had an opportunity to get forward yet. Hughes. In towards Darren Bent, but Petr Cech commands his penalty area so well.
Superb keeping there from Cech. Wasn't the worst of balls played in, but Cech came off his line. He must have come all of 16 yards and relieved the pressure with a great catch.
Well, Darren Bent hasn't had a side of goal really, but he's certainly made his presence felt against the Chelsea back line, and he's won another free kick there, taken quickly after the foul by Carvalho. Murphy. Still Herman Hariderson forward. And this is where the likes of Robben have to cover so effectively when they gamble with Hariderson upfield. It's vital that when they lose possession, bodies get back in the way of Chelsea's quick counter-attacks. Good play by Dennis Rommedahl to regain possession with this throw. by Murphy. Young. Now Robben. Space for Crespo. Ben came to meet it. Robben. Ben couldn't get back to his feet quickly enough. Essien, who loves to maraud forward. Duff, Lampard, and now Crespo. Misplaced pass by Makelele. Robben tried to do too much. Essien gets catcalls from the Charlton fans for the pass, but the idea was right.
Yes, I think what he was expecting of Robben was a little run in behind. He was being marked by a Ryderson who was the last man, and he was looking to use the pace of Robben, but they're on the wrong wavelength, I'm afraid, because Robben was looking for the ball to feet.
And the ball stayed in. Cleverly done by Crespo. It's Charlton's attackers who are just at cross purposes as Thomas looked to roll the ball into the path of Darren Bent, but Bent had made a run for it.
Good contest that between Essien and Kishishev in the middle of the park. They're really getting tight on one another. One or two tackles are flying in, but it's being played in a good spirit.
Crespo. Now Lampard. Duff. Goes for goal. Anderson unmoved.
Yes, Damien Duff makes an angle, gets that little yard, which enables him to release the shot as he goes past Brian Hughes, but he rather scuffs the shot. Charlton won't mind that too much if they can continue to keep restricting Chelsea to shooting from 25 yards.
Well, Charlton have only conceded once this season. Well, so much has been made of Chelsea's defensive record. Andy Gray of Sunderland, the only player to have breached the Charlton back line, more than 6 hours since they conceded a goal. A clean sheet today would be the best defensive run in the Premiership for 6.5 years.
Yes, and it wouldn't have escaped Alan Curbishley either that opening day victory at the Stadium of Light against Sunderland was officiated by today's referee, Howard Webb.
And the omens go deeper than that, of which more in a moment as the ball's played in. Awkward defending from Terry to get it away from Hughes. Kishishev pulls his shot wide.
Well, as John Terry chests the ball down to Makelele, he loses possession to Robben, who just rolls the ball back into the path of Kishishev. And his effort is a really disappointing one.
You talk about the appointment of Howard Webb in charge of this game, Trevor. The only game that Chelsea lost in the Premiership last season. They lost to a penalty given by Howard Webb. A foul by Paulo Ferreira on Nicholas Anelka. 11 months on, Howard Webb, who has taken charge of Chelsea again since. Back in charge of them today. Of course, he actually sent off Darren Ambrose of Charlton in the first game of the season. Ambrose only back from suspension today. amongst the Charlton substitutes. Here's Robben. Essien, bit of space for him, also a ferocious shot and a brave block by Herman Hreidarsson.
Well, as a manager, that's what you want to see from your defenders, prepared to take a ball that's struck with terrific power from Essien in the body, and certainly Hreidarsson did just that, because that was a great shot from Essien that was directed towards goal.
Makelele quickly set upon by Charlton players. Sure he wasn't caught in possession. It's been a game much more open than many cynics were anticipating. Hreidarsson and Crespo. Ferreira. Duff getting the instruction to turn. William Gallas has made his way forward for him. And then caught by Danny Murphy. Chelsea have a free kick.
Yeah, it wasn't a good challenge that from Danny Murphy. Really no attempt to play the ball. Murphy's been rather close to Makelele all game. That's how they've matched up. It's Murphy against Makelele, and Brian Hughes with his extra energy. He's playing directly against Frank Lampard. As I already mentioned, Kishishev, he's always come into confrontation with Essien.
Dangerous flick! And Anderson at full stretch, very grateful to see it go past the post, and that very nearly 1-0 to Chelsea thanks to Essien.
Well, Essien gets the touch. Anderson, I think we have to say that he's got it covered. It's a backward header from Essien, doesn't know where the goal is, but he helps it on its way. He just goes inches past Anderson's far post.
Thomas. Big clearance from John Terry, but he was caught by Brian Hughes as he made it. Chelsea, in their last 26 matches in the Premiership, have dropped only 8 points. 22 wins and 4 draws in that run of 26 games. They've averaged nearly 3 goals a game. It's a side that everyone says is boring. 74 they've scored. They've conceded just 13. And Damien Duff crumpled to the floor there. And the challenge from Murphy.
I don't think there was nothing intentional there from Danny Murphy. It was a good challenge. I think probably the two players' knees, Damien Duff's and Danny Murphy's, came together, and that's where he's got the pain. But after a few seconds, I'm sure Damien will be able to run that off.
And he tries now, much to the annoyance of the Charlton fans. The referee, of course, gave a throw, didn't even give a free kick against Murphy. Thomas back on his feet to deal with Ferreira's clearance. For Crespo, Charlton's most capped England international, though to be usurped in that department by Luke Young very soon. Robben on the left wing this time. Took on Romedal. That's the referee given. Robben appeared to handle the ball. That's why everybody stopped. He thought he was brought down, thought it was going to be a free kick, but his hand on the ball, it might work Charlton's way though. Here comes Danny Murphy, foul by Carvalho. It's going to be a caution. And a free kick in a very promising position. And all after a bizarre moment over on the touchline.
It's a great run from Danny Murphy. He capitalises on the fact that Howard Webb didn't give a handball against Robben on the far touchline. I can only assume that Mr. Webb was totally unsighted, because it was obvious to everybody in the stadium that Robben probably fouled, then grabbed the ball. Charlton quickly responded on the counter-attack, and Danny Murphy is brought to the ground by Carvalho, and it gives Charlton a chance to score from a free kick. The previous free kicks haven't been really the best, but this is certainly a little bit closer to the 18-yard box, and I'm sure it'll suit either Danny Murphy or Herman Ryderson, who are looking to be the players who are most likely to take this free kick.
Will it be the left footer for Ryderson or the right of Murphy? Murphy has taken charge of all of these situations so far. And Chelsea paying plenty of respect. Everybody back inside the penalty area. The vast majority of them in the wall. Kishishev trying to block the view of Claude Makelele. You can assume that that is where the free kick's going to go. He's going to try and create a bit of space on the end of that wall. It's Murphy that strikes it. And like the previous attempts, he's put it into the wall. Back from Luke Young. Carvalho's header clear. Interception by Kishishev. By Young, I beg your pardon, stop the quick counter-attack. And here is Kishishev. Bent. Young. Still onside. Acrobatically done by Terry. And now Chelsea fancy themselves on the counter again. The pace of Robben, constant menace for Charlton. Look how quickly they've got the bodies forward as well. Here's Duff. It might break for Crespo. Hughes, though, made sure it didn't. Good challenge by Perry. They have to make sure they don't overplay deep inside their own half. And they get themselves out with ease in the end. Now Jerome Thomas. Urged on by a passionate crowd. Robben gets the better of Carvalho! The closest that Charlton have come.
Well, Carvalho comes to nick it in front of Robben. If you're going to come, you've got to make an interception. He never gets there. Robben takes it into control. Free shot hit goal. Drags it past Czech's post.
He's never scored here, Dennis Robben, curiously enough. And Sven-Göran Eriksson, watching from the stands, knows all about the potency of Dennis Robben. Got the first, of course, for Denmark against England last month in England's humbling in Copenhagen. Powell. And this time Thomas didn't manage to keep it in. It is a Charlton throw, though. Just deflected before it got to him. Hughes. Ryderson, cleverly left by Hughes, and Thomas, bent back to Thomas.
Just a little bit rushed, Thomas, with his shot.
By the necessity of having to try and get value for money. Picked up Darren Bent for what's looking like a bargain, £2.5 million, a fee that could rise to £3 million. Jerome Thomas is signed for just 100,000. He's really blossomed in his 18 months here at the Valley after leaving the youth and reserves at Arsenal. was a rarity. Slight misjudgment from John Terry. Cavallo. Duff. Makelele now for Chelsea. Crespo. What do you think Jose Mourinho's reflections on the first half will be, Trevor?
I think he'll be reasonably pleased with his team's performance. They started off really well the first 10 minutes with a number of opportunities. Charlton, as you would expect, being the home side, have come back into the game. They've made it more of an even contest. But I think at this moment, you know, Chelsea, you look around their team, they've got so many match winners. There's no reason why that they can't go on from here in the second half. But I think Alan Curbishley will be equally pleased. He would have been too happy with the start they made, but he would have been comforted by the fact that the last 15-20 minutes they've certainly given as good as they've got.
Alan Curbishley there by Mervyn Day and Keith Peacock, whose son, of course, having represented Chelsea in the cup final 12 seasons ago now. And almost at the end of the minute added on for stoppages. Young. Romadal. Thomas. Well, it was a game in which it was always going to be very close between these two sides by virtue of their defensive records and their overall records so far this season. And it has panned out pretty much as we thought. Chances, though, have been created. Crespo hitting the post. Romadal coming close for Charlton. Engaging and entertaining stuff. But goalless at half-time at the Valley. Charlton 0, Chelsea 0.
And Jim Proudfoot.
The first half saw the proud extensions of defensive records. 45 minutes, at least one of these two sides will lose their 100% record for the Premiership season. Who will it be? Essien. Terry. Defended by Jerome Thomas. And in turn by Chris Powell. 11 hours now since an opposition player last scored against Chelsea in the Premiership. The last goal they conceded in the Premiership was an own goal. Terry. Kishishev. Luke Young. Doing well to help it on under duress. Essien. Kishishev and Hughes did well to make sure there was no way past, but Chelsea still able to bring it forward with William Gallas. Such an impressive start to the season. Well marshalled by Danny Murphy.
Yes, you just feel the when gallops forward on that left-hand side. He tends to run out of ideas when he gets into high positions. It's not his favourite position, and he's somewhat restricted when he's in possession of the ball.
Another foul. Another opportunity for Chelsea to launch the ball inside the penalty area. First chance, though, really, that John Terry and co have had to push forward from the back. Terry with his very impressive goal-scoring record on this grab. He'll make it 3 seasons on the trot, which he scored in this fixture. It's come again off the post. It was Gallas. A scruffy effort, but so close to the game's opening goal. Duff. Terry. Up in the air off Chris Perry. And Murphy power Gallus to prevent the corner, but Gallus very nearly giving Chelsea the lead right at the start of the second half.
Well, I can only assume, Jim, that Gallus saw it very, very late. It was a deep free kick played by Lampard. Missed out everyone except Gallus at the back post.
Lampard's corner, defending by Perry. And Paulo Ferreira looks for the emergency exit behind him as opposed to a number of blue shirts upfield. Duff. Gallus. Away by Heriderson. And Lampard. Foul. And that gives Chelsea another free kick in a promising position as they try and make their authority count at the beginning of this second period. Started the second half well. Can they make it count? Danny Murphy as we try to eavesdrop with Lampard and Robben, discussing what might happen from here. Terry and Crespo both forward, but it's going to be a Lampard direct shot, and he's taken a deflection, and Anderson, wrong-footed to start with, did well to adjust and save.
Well, for a moment I thought the ball had actually passed Anderson, but fortunately the deflection off Brian Hughes slows the ball up and gives Anderson a chance to dive across and gather the ball.
Well played by Robben, and it's 3 against 3 as Chelsea bring it forward. Duff makes a run to Robben's left. Well, Chris Perry was there with a very strong tackle, as was Makaleli. Lampard breaks for Essien, and Crespo is onside. Lampard in the centre, Robben there as well. In the end, defending by Powell, makes it easy for Anderson to make the save. Good start to the second half by Chelsea, though they've looked far and away the more likely to score since the resumption. Alice very close to doing exactly that. Ramadan, very quick feet, bent.
Well, Romadel's swapped sides just for a couple of moments. He does really well here. Releases Darren Bent. Always a difficult ball to hit that when it's coming across the body. Darren Bent attempts to get it on target, but way too high into the crowd.
Good play by Gallus. Lovely turn. Fantastic awareness of what was around him. Here's Crespo. Tried to play Lampard in, but it was all done from close quarters by Chelsea. Back for Gallus, and space again in front of him. Time to measure up his cross. And he goes for a reverse ball for Robben. Young brings him down and then just has a word as well. And he thought that Robben made the most of it.
Well, I think the dive is a little bit theatrical from Robben, but quite clearly Luke Young has caught Robben around the ankle area. Mr. Webb is quite entitled to give the free kick. It was definitely a foul. Well, the previous free kick caused all sorts of problems. Gallus ghosted around the far post. Wasn't picked up. Will they make the same mistake this time?
It's from an almost identical position, but Frank Lampard's ball doesn't cause nearly as much menace this time. Makaleli back into the fray. Essien the furthest forward, down for Crespo! Well blocked by Anderson. Came out with his feet, all of a sudden realised that Crespo had a chance, and it was more good goalkeeping by the young Day.
I'll tell you what happened to Anderson, you know, as he came to retrieve the ball, he lost his footing. He actually slips on the grass. And as a result of that, he's had to clear it by just hacking at it with his boot.
Given away by Kishishev to Lampard. Robben taking on Perry, gets to the byline and wins the corner off Murphy.
Danny Murphy did well there. He could see that his defenders were having trouble against the pace of Robben. He quickly got back and blocked the cross coming in. Excellent interception from Danny Murphy.
This is Chelsea's best period of the game. Robben with the outswinger, Carvalho with the initial header. And then bent back defending, forced to hammer it clear.
And they really are piling on the pressure now at the start of the second half, Chelsea. This is how they started the first half. They didn't get the goal in the first half, but at the moment it looks very ominous for Charlton that Chelsea could easily score a goal.
Duff. Haridason. Essien and Makaleli combining to dispossess Kishishev. Crespo's header! Hernan Crespo for Chelsea! The deadlock broken in the game of the two 100%ers, and it's Chelsea that strike first and look to continue that run.
Well, it was only 30 seconds ago I said that Chelsea could score, and once again it's happened on 3 occasions in this game. Kishishev has been dispossessed in the wrong area. 2 players converge on him, Makaleli and Essien. Essien plays a brilliant ball, good movement by Crespo, gets away from Chris Perry, makes himself a couple of yards, and then it's a beautiful header on target. Gives Anderson absolutely no chance with a brilliant header.
Hernan Crespo will be the first to admit that Chelsea haven't seen the best of him. And he got the goal at Wigan in such dramatic circumstances on the opening weekend of the season that started this run of victories at the beginning of this season for Chelsea. And he's got the goal here at Charlton, which could continue it to a record equalling 6 Premiership victories at the start of the season. Hernan Crespo with the header, which gives Chelsea a deserved lead. They have been the better side in this second half. The longer the game on, the more you felt the breakthrough was inevitable. And Chelsea's Hernan Crespo's provided it, having hit the post in the first half. He's hit the net in the second. Murphy, bent is offside.
Well, when you see a Charlton player in that much room, you automatically think he is offside. Let's have a look as Danny Murphy plays it. Chelsea have come out, they've held a good line. Darren Bent on the 18-yard line, 2 yards offside. Linesman absolutely right.
At the first offside of the game. Crespo extending his run of Chelsea goals away from home to 7. And 7 goals for the club have all been away from Stamford Bridge. Got 16 in all competitions last season with Milan, and 2 in 3 starts for Chelsea this season. Much to the delight of the Chelsea supporters who made the short journey across town. Crespo gets a bang to the head from Perry, which he recovered very quickly from. Here's Gallus. Crespo again. they've had chances, they've hit the post twice as well as scoring.
It's the movement here of Crespo that impresses me. Perry, you'd expect him to be a little bit tighter. A little run from Crespo. Perry not alert to it. And you can't give world-class players like that 2 or 3 yard space in the penalty box. He gets on the end of the ball from Essien, and it's a brilliant header, giving Anderson no chance in the Charlton goal.
No foul on Damien Duff, despite his outcry. Romedal, Murphy. Now John Terry found himself isolated against Darren Bents, and only Petacek, with a smart save, denies him the equaliser, although the offside flag is up as well.
Well, certainly Darren Bent and Jerome Thomas weren't aware of that, and I don't think John Terry was either. Linesman's got it right again. It's a brilliant pick out from Danny Murphy. John Terry in all sorts of trouble. Either of the two front players could have had the shot, Thomas or Bent. Good save, wasn't it, from Czech? He didn't realise it was offside. Did his routine work.
Here's Robben now, has played quickly, switches to the other end in breathtaking style. Arjen Robben doubles Chelsea's lead. 100% record, he's going to stay intact.
Well, Jose Mourinho doesn't show his emotions, but he's got to be absolutely delighted with that finish. Damien Duff does well, keeps the ball in play. Robben just finds himself a yard. He realises that he's not being closed down quickly enough. The player who goes to him is Kishishev. He doesn't get tight enough. In Robben, on his favourite left foot, just looks up and curls it with great accuracy across Anderson into the far roof of the net. Absolutely brilliant technique from the Dutchman. Chelsea 2-0 to the good.
Darren Bent. Hughes made the right run to the near post, but couldn't get the touch that was needed.
That's what Brian Hughes is good at, making them runs from the middle of the park into the opposing penalty box. He is a good goal scorer, and he's inches away from getting on the end of this ball from Darren Bent.
Charlton have gone the best part of 6.5 hours without conceding a goal, and then they've let in 2 in 5 minutes. Chelsea yet to concede one this season in the Premiership, and with a sizable looking 2-0 lead. Charlton, though, haven't let their heads drop, to their credit. And Romedal and Bent just at cross purposes there. Hughes. Murphy can't get it to stick. Makelele will find Duff as Chelsea look to push forward quickly again. Essien's got a lot of space. Crespo plays him in now. And Duff makes a run in behind Chris Powell. Powell just there in the nick of time. It's a corner. Lampard to take it. Essien makes the run towards the near post. It's played in deeper than that for Terry. And his header straight at Stefan Andersson. And he will very quickly sprint back. And that's a wonderful interception from Claude Makelele.
Had to be, didn't it? Had to be timed to perfection, because Romedal was about to go clear.
Chelsea will make their first change. Sean Wright-Phillips comes on to replace Damien Duff. Wright-Phillips, who made his Premiership debut on this ground 5 years ago, had a chance to Once again impressed watching England coach Sven-Göran Eriksson. Didier Drogba will be on in a moment as well. I think Chelsea are going to just make the one change for the time being, though. Duff off, and Wright Phillips on. Hard life when you can replace £17 million worth of talent with £21 million worth of talent on the bench. Luke Young. Awkward bounce for Carvalho. Wright Phillips. Can't pass Chris Powell. His first introduction. Crespo's onside. It's a clever ball played in by the substitute, and Robben. A lot of space in the centre for him. And Chris Perry came across and just covered in time.
Well, that's the problem now for Charlton. They're looking to try and push on. They're sure to leave gaps at the back. And with Chelsea's extra quality and pace, they will exploit it. On that occasion, Crespo trying to pick out Robben at the far post, but good covering defensive play from Chris Perry.
Ben's header, turned by Wright Phillips. Oh, he's done brilliantly. Carvalho, Lampard, Terry, and now Gallus. Messi and dispossessed this time. Given a taste of his own medicine, although Murphy couldn't make the most of the opportunity. Hughes. Makelele. Right on the shoulder of Danny Murphy. Kishishev. Ramadan again, good injection of pace from the Dane. Here's Luke Young forward in support. Carvalho there with the block. And with the Young out of position, here come Chelsea once more. Robben curtails his run to stay onside. Crespo, now Robben. Wright Phillips at the far post. Sean Wright Phillips, good save.
Whoever said Chelsea are boring? That's lightning speed counter-attack, started by Carvalho. Crespo releases Robben, who picks out Wright Phillips, whose volley is into the ground, and because of that, Anderson has the opportunity to make the diving save. Wright Phillips would have liked to have made better contact, but still it was a great break from Chelsea.
Another indication of the depth of squad which has been built by Chelsea. Didier Drogba had to come on to replace Hernan Crespo. Drogba already 5 goals to his name this season. On to replace the man who broke the deadlock here for Chelsea today. Charlton are going to make changes of their own. Jerome Thomas, who had some very bright moments, particularly in the first half. He comes off, replaced by Darren Ambrose, home debut. The young man signed from Newcastle. The change we'll see. Radiston Kishishev replaced by Matty Holland. Holland hasn't played all season after picking up a hand injury for Ireland against Italy, inflicted by Gennaro Gattuso. So a double change by Charlton. Corner in after all of that. Almost beat everybody. Now here's Ramadan. What an asset when you're trying to hit a side on the counter-attack. The pace of Dennis Ramadan, cynically blocked by Claude Makelele, and referee Howard Webb will produce a card. A yellow.
think Makelele realised that he was never going to beat Dennis Rommedahl for pace. Old experienced campaigner just stood in his path, hoping he could get away with it, but he was a little bit too close to the assistant referee.
Murphy with the free kick. Volley cleared by Lampard. Handball gives Chelsea a free kick.
Yes, that was good refereeing from Howard Webb. He saw straight away that Danny Murphy had handled it, but he looked to try and play the advantage reel, realised there wasn't going to be any for Chelsea, and then blew for a free kick.
Well, if you're Charlton, how do you approach it now? You know that playing on the counter-attack to many extents plays into Chelsea's hands, particularly the personnel they've got, the speed of Wright Phillips, Ryan Robben. And yet you want to give it a go, you want to do everything you can to get back into the game. The dichotomy facing Alan Kirbishley. Surreptitious little shove on Paulo Ferreira is punished. And Charlton are going to make their final change, and it's defender for a defender. Herman Hreidarsson coming off, and he'll be replaced by the United States international John Spector, on loan from Manchester United. Spector coming on for only the 9th senior appearance of his career. Well, it was going to be Hreidarsson. There's been a last-minute change of heart, and it is Chris Powell who comes off instead. Spector coming on for his Charlton Athletic debut, and he's going to take up Powell's left-back berth. He has got experience of playing at both left-back and centre-half. He covered for Ferdinand and Gabriel Heinze in the Manchester United side in the Premiership early last season. Perry. Handball by Gallus, nice in the eyes of the fans. Rommedahl, Hughes, Murphy, one back by Lampard, and then Essien. Now Robben. Chelsea's forwards getting more and more space every time they push forward now, but Perry's deflection got it back to his goalkeeper safely enough. Rommedahl. Will he be able to inspire a way back into the game for Charlton Athletic? And an offside flag up. It's Didier Drogba, the first time that a Chelsea player has been caught offside today. Shot by Bendon Carvalho. You're surprised that Charlton haven't changed the system, Charlie?
Well, they've got Sean Bartlett on the bench, and I think what Alan Kirby's concerned about, if he changes the shape of the side, this could turn into an even bigger defeat for his team. At the moment, they're still in the game at 2-0.
Romedal hoping to supply Bent to make it 2-1. Here's Ambrose. Holland. Spectre. 3 Charlton substitutes all linking up. The ball in towards Bent. Run away by Terry, and then Lampard and Essien will be able to get it further clear. Essien continues his run forward with Drogba in possession. Ambrose had tracked back well. Drogba tries to get to the byline. He made the byline, but so did the ball.
I think if you open yourself up against Chelsea, they have the quality all over the field to really make you pay for it. As much as I'm sure he'd like to see Bartlett on for this type of ball into the box, I think he feels that at 2-0, it only takes a goal for them to be back in the game. If he was to open it up, it could end up 3 or 4.
Drogba, well, physical presence again for the Ivorian. Robben. By Heriderson. Gallus has kept it in. Luke Young forced to concede the throw. Intricate approach play. Robben, Drogba. Away by Holland, and then Ambrose was stretching Makaleli, taking advantage of that. Sean Wright-Phillips. Michael Essien. It's easy to see why Michael Essien was so closely courted by Chelsea over the summer, desperate to get him out of Lyon. A very tidy game in an economical kind of way. Essien in the heart of that midfield.
He's an excellent athlete, and he does many of the ugly things really well. Things that sometimes go unnoticed. Like the goal, for example, everyone would talk about the header from Crespo, and rightly so, it was a brilliant header. But it was Essien and Makaleli, the 2 players who did the pressing to dispossess Kishishev. They played their part. That's the other side of it that's absolutely vital.
Czech kept that in, just. Essien in a similar moment in the first half had created the opportunity. Crespo, we saw him hit the post. Young appealing that he was fouled. Charlton in possession, so the play goes on anyway. Cavallo. Nicely done by Wright-Phillips. Essien, challenged by Murphy. Ball by Heriderson, looking for Hughes. And Robben, again with time to look round and see that he's got plenty of space to work with. Gallus on the overlap. Eager to get forward. The 2-0 lead at this stage of the game. Away by Holland. Romedal. just got his bearings wrong in a very tight corridor.
Just look a little bit dispirited now, Charlton. They've worked so hard to stay in this game, which they were in for 55 minutes. But in the space of 5 minutes, between 55 and 60, 2 goals, it's really finished the game as a contest.
Now the scorer of the second, the one that has surely made it safe, Robben departs the scene of battle with a little over 10 minutes to go. Killer blow supplied by the Dutchman, surely protecting Chelsea's 100% start to the season. And Robben makes way, replaced by Joe Cole. First contribution, foul on England teammate Luke Young. Charlton have a corner, and it's their first of the second half. Will it be the catalyst to a recovery?
Yes, whenever that ball's been directed, and primarily it's come from free kicks, looking for the head of a Ryderson, it's caused 1 or 2 problems for Chelsea. You just wonder if Barton had been on from the start, what difference he would have made.
It's in towards Ryderson, and the header from Perry goes wide. Well, he's already scored this season, Chris Perry. He found the net in great style at Middlesbrough, but this was a chance.
Well, it's an example I'm talking about. You know, if you get 1 or 2 decent crosses in, then certainly that's the one area where Chelsea have looked a little bit vulnerable this afternoon. Now, if you look at Perry, he's no more than 5'9". It's all about anticipation, and he did that really well in the box.
Perry involved in defensive duties again now as Chelsea try and bring it forward. Holland can't get it away. It's Wright Phillips. Paulo Ferreira, Drogba over the top for Essien. He's got 2 waiting for the pullback. Drogba's there as well, making a third. It was Lampard he tried to pick out. Anderson read his intentions.
I think we probably just saw there the best pass of the game, played by Drogba. Fantastic ball in behind Spectre for the oncoming Essien.
Almost a costly stumble by Dennis Rommedahl. He did well to rescue it and then wins the free kick in conjunction with Darren Ambrose.
I don't know if you noticed there, but as soon as Rommedahl was in trouble, Chelsea player came to close him down, and immediately another one came to assist. 2 on 1. That's an indication of a good side when you get that.
Spector's mistimed his jump. How costly is that going to be? Joe Cole, forced wide by Luke Young. He's got Sean Wright Phillips in support for him. Charlton have got bodies back in numbers now. Immediate dangerous pass, but still calling possession. Credit to Luke Young for holding Joe Cole up and just taking the sting out of the counter-attack.
Yeah, Luke Young did well, but I think that Joe Cole picked the wrong option, because he had good support on his right-hand side coming from Wright Phillips. And really should have released Wright Phillips a little bit earlier.
Essien. Lampard sits up nicely for him. He drags it off the heels of Hughes for a corner.
There you see a good example of the power play from Essien. Shrugs Murphy off the ball as if he's a little boy. Releases Frank Lampard. He tries to hit it towards that near post, but a good challenge coming in from Hughes.
Lampard with the corner. And Terry with the clearance, although it wasn't what he intended. Lampard again, almost managing to win it back. It was Holland that was tigerish in the challenge to clear the danger.
Well, one of Rommedahl's teammates has got to have a word with him, because you can't be dribbling 25 yards from your goal mouth against a team like Chelsea, who are absolutely full of running, looking to press the ball every opportunity. He's got to clear his lines much quicker.
That was Spector that tried to do too much. Right, Phillips. Drogba, in the end, ended up beating himself.
He should know better, Drogba, as a centre forward, that you need the ball coming in early. Now, he's gone past Spector, could have played it in with his right foot into the box, then checks out onto his left foot. Unfortunately, he does slip, but he should know that the ball needs to come in early.
Bent dropping deeper for possession this time and feeding Rommedahl. Murphy. Elected for the first time ball without really looking to see who was where. And the result was a surrender of possession again for Charlton. It's been almost a perfect afternoon for Chelsea. Just an element of doubt as to perhaps an injury for Arjen Robben, who didn't seem to be moving entirely freely as he made his way off to be replaced by Joe Cole.
We shouldn't forget that apart from the 2 goals that Chelsea had scored, they've also hit the upright twice. Crespo and Gallas. It's been a very, very solid all-round performance from the champions.
Will be Jose Mourinho's 50th win in charge in 67 games. Staggering record. Essien. How important was that touch from Perry with Lampard lurking? Now Gallas. Away by Perry again. Into the last 5 minutes. Ever since Chelsea took the lead, really, it's been hard to see the way back for Charlton. And did have that one chance when Darren Bent was flagged offside, forced a good save out of Petr anyway. And other than that, it's been all Chelsea in the second half.
I think also now, you know, that when Chelsea do take the lead, you know, psychologically it has such an effect on the opposition, because they just never concede.
Let alone 2. Running out, but Chelsea, who won here 4-0 last year, looking to extend their margin of victory late in the game. In from Lampard. Valio is up there. Foul by Shaw Wright Phillips on Jonathan Spector. It's a Charlton free kick. The victory will equal Chelsea's best ever start to a season, set back in 1928 in the old second division. Also equals the best ever start by any club to a Premiership season. Newcastle won the first 6 games back in 1994. And it's now almost 12 hours since an opposition player scored against them in the Premiership. It will also see them the first side ever to start a top division season in England with 6 consecutive clean sheets. First side to do that in nearly 120 years. Referee allows play to continue. Offside flag was raised. Now way past Young for Cole. Now Perry. Lampard dispossessing Murphy. Danger again. Drogba flagged offside.
How many more times are Charlton going to lose the ball in the last third of the field? They've been guilty from the first minute of over-elaborating, looking to run with the ball. You don't do that against Chelsea, because they quickly group around you. They press the ball so well. Lampard released Drogba there, who just strayed a yard offside.
Four from Makelele. Murphy now. Ryderson staying up front for the final exchanges in this game. Paulo Ferreira ready for goalkeeper Petr Cech to take control of the situation. Lampard. Gallus. Drogba's done well. Good anticipation of the bounce. And he's almost managed to trick his way in past Chris Perry. It's a goal kick, though, rather than the corner that he thought he'd earned.
Good example there of the power and the pace of Drogba. Chris Perry thought he was comfortable, then Drogba comes across. And I thought he'd won his team a corner. Let's have a little look, see who's right. I think it is a corner. I think it came off Chris Perry's foot.
Into the final minute of the 90, and there will be 2 minutes of stoppage time to come as well. And the Charlton fans here at the Valley have been largely silenced for the last half hour. Ambrose! No late consolation from that.
Well, if that's the final effort of the game for Charlton, it was a pretty useful one from Darren Ambrose. Strikes it really cleanly. Unfortunately, as I've said on many occasions, not on target. There haven't been too many that's troubled Cech this afternoon. I can't remember him having to make a real save. Certainly been 4 or 5 shots outside the box that have gone past or over the top of the bar, but very, very few on target.
Mistake by Anderson. Worth pointing out that he made a couple of very important saves with the score at 0-0. Here's Cole. As Chelsea look to seal the afternoon with number 3. Dispossessed though by Holland. Terry to Gallus. Skill by Cole. And in his time at Chelsea, he's definitely learned to harness the wonderful repertoire of tricks that he's got. Use them at the right time in the right places. Makelele, Lampard. Makelele. Forced into a mistake. Charlton in stoppage time, forward towards Darren Bent. Essien will be able to clear his lines. Now Wright Phillips. Well defended. It was all about who would be able to maintain their 100% start to the season as the top 2 met. And Jose Mourinho's Chelsea have won in convincing style. 2-0 victors. They hit the post twice as well and created numerous other opportunities. Alan Kirbishley's Charlton played well. The goals from Hernan Crespo and Arjen Robben in the space of 5 minutes just before the hour mark, enough to give Chelsea the victory that stamps their authority once more at the top of the Premiership and extends Their run to 6 wins out of 6, and they're still yet to concede a goal in the Premiership this season. Final score, Charlton Athletic 0, Chelsea 2.
Well, Alan, you won't be satisfied with the result, but are you satisfied with the way that your players played today?
Not really, because I think we are better than what we've shown today, but I think a lot of that was down to Chelsea. You know, not only a great side going forward, you know, they're very, very difficult to break down as well, and I think they work so hard. So I think they've got all the ingredients, and we found that very difficult today.
Did it make it more difficult for you how this game had been built up with two sides with a 100% record?
No. I think if it was top versus second with 4 games to go instead of after 4 games for us, then it would be a little bit different. But no, we've looked at the start of the season, and we've had quite a difficult one. You know, we should have played Liverpool. That was postponed. Liverpool and Chelsea in the top 6 with Middlesbrough, 3 teams in Europe. You know, we looked at the start and we knew it was going to be a bit difficult.
You get labelled with this tag of being boring. I cannot understand on the strength of today's performance where that comes from. Does it mystify you guys as well?
Doesn't really mystify us. We ignore it. We know what we're good at. We know we're a good team. We know we're entertaining to watch. Ask our supporters if they're happy. I think they'll say yes.
So Chelsea march on, still no points dropped or goals conceded this season, and after 6 games, that's another Premiership record. Coming next...